Every time the world shakes, a war escalates, a market crashes, a political shock drops. Most people freeze, panic, or rage. They doom scroll for hours. They make impulsive decisions. They hand control of their mind, their time, and their next move to forces thousands of miles away that do not know they exist. That is not strength. That is being a pawn. And the terrifying part is that this has been engineered. The chaos is not accidental. The urgency, the outrage, the fear, it is a mechanism. And until you understand what it does to you and how to step outside of it, you will never stop being the one who gets moved. Today, you are going to learn to stop being moved. Marcus Aurelius ruled at a time of near-constant geopolitical catastrophe. Plagues, border wars, economic collapse, internal betrayal. And every single day he sat down and wrote what was under his control and what was not. Not as a coping mechanism, as a discipline of command. He understood that the emperor who loses his inner governance first loses everything else second. The man who stays grounded while the world convulses holds an asymmetric advantage over every panicking person around him. That advantage is not passive, it is a weapon. Here is the first hard truth. You are not built by nature to handle a live stream of global catastrophe. Your nervous system evolved to respond to immediate physical threats. The predator in the grass, the rival at the camp. It did not evolve to absorb 18 hours of geopolitical horror from a glowing rectangle in your palm. Every breaking news alert that hits you fires the same threat detection circuits as a physical danger. But unlike physical danger, it never resolves. The threat never leaves. The cortisol never drops. And day by day, scroll by scroll, your ability to think clearly, act deliberately, and govern yourself erodes. You become reactive. And a reactive man is a man who can be led anywhere. Now here is where Machiavelli becomes essential. Because Stoicism alone can make you serene, but serene is not enough. You also need to read what is actually happening. Machiavelli's core insight was this. Do not look at what people say. Look at what incentives are shaping their behavior. Apply that now. When geopolitical chaos erupts and every media platform and algorithm serves it to you hot and relentless, ask yourself a simple question. Who benefits from your panic? Outrage is the most monetizable emotion on the internet. Fear keeps you clicking. Anxiety makes you dependent on the next update. The machine is not informing you, it is farming you. You are not the reader of the news. You are the product being harvested by it. Once you see that clearly, the question is not how do I feel about what is happening. It is how do I stop being harvested. This is the game as it actually is. Geopolitical shocks create waves. Most people ride the waves emotionally. Up with hope, down with despair, sideways with confusion. The strategist does not ride the wave. He watches the wave, reads its direction, and positions himself on dry ground before it arrives. That positioning happens in the window that most people cannot access because they are too busy being swept. Your competitors in life, in business, in career, in social capital, are mostly in the wave right now. That is your opening. So here is the framework, the actual move. 4 steps. Step 1. The information fast, not forever, strategically. When a major shock breaks, give yourself one deliberate window per day, 20 minutes no more, to consume curated high-signal information from primary sources, not commentary, not hot takes, not the algorithm's preferred outrage, official statements, data, verified developments. You are gathering signal. After that window, you close the feed and return to your domain. What you will discover almost immediately is that 90% of what the urgent breaking news promised you needed to know right now has zero bearing on your life or your next move. It was noise dressed as signal. The real signal fits in 20 minutes. Step 2. The Dichotomy Audit. Marcus Aurelius practiced this relentlessly. Take the specific event that is disturbing your peace. Write 2 columns. Column 1. What about this is within my power to influence, change, or act on? Column 2. What about this is completely outside my power, happening at a scale, in a geography, or through forces I do not control? Most of what terrifies people in geopolitical shocks lives entirely in column 2. And here is the discipline. Once you have correctly placed something in column 2, you are no longer permitted to give it your emotional energy. Not because you do not care, because spending energy on the uncontrollable is a form of self-betrayal. It is giving your strength away to something that cannot receive it and cannot use it. Step 3. Reframe the shock as a signal for your own positioning. Every major disruption in the external world reshuffles the board. Skills become more or less valuable. Industries accelerate or contract. Social dynamics shift. The question the sovereign asks is not what does this mean for the world? It is what does this mean for my position? What becomes more valuable that I can develop? What dependency in my life does this expose that I need to eliminate? What move, which I have been postponing, does this make urgent? Chaos is not only a threat. For the man who is already working on himself, chaos is a clarifying event. It strips away the comfortable assumptions and shows you the actual board. Step 4. The physical anchor. This is not soft self-care, this is strategic. Seneca wrote that the body and the mind are bound. When one is disordered, the other follows. When the external world is spiraling, your most powerful counter-move is to make your body do something hard and deliberate. Train, run, lift. Not to escape the problem, but to reassert the one thing you control absolutely, your physical discipline. A man who has just completed something physically demanding does not spiral into helpless anxiety. His nervous system knows at a biological level that he is capable and that he acted. That knowledge is armor. It is very hard to be a pawn in a geopolitical drama when your body is reminding you at a cellular level that you govern yourself. Now let us talk about what this framework produces in the long game. Machiavelli observed that fortune, the tide of external events, governs roughly half of human affairs. The other half is left to what he called Virtù, the disciplined, skillful force of a person's own character and action. His metaphor was a river. A river in flood will destroy a plain with no embankments. But where men have built embankments with skill and effort, the same flood is redirected and does no harm. The geopolitical and economic shocks of this world are the flood. They are coming. They will keep coming. The question is whether you have built the embankments. Those embankments are not built during the crisis. They are built in the calm. Through discipline, through strategic positioning, through the daily practice of governing your own mind so that when the flood arrives, it finds structure, not an open plain. Most people will not do this. They will continue to be swept. And so the gap between you and them, in clarity and decision quality, in the accumulation of position and reputation and inner strength, will compound in your favor with every crisis that passes. Every shock they lose weeks to is a week you spent building. That is not luck. That is the long game playing out exactly as Machiavelli described it. The man who has governed his inner world is positioned to receive fortune's favor when it turns, because he is the only one still standing at the table. So here is where you stand now. The world will not stop being turbulent. The shocks will not stop coming. The algorithms will not stop being designed to harvest your attention and sell your panic back to you. None of that changes. What changes is you. The pawn waits to see what the world does and then reacts. The sovereign watches the world, reads the game, controls his inner state, and makes his next deliberate move. You are not here to be swept. You are here to build a domain. And that work begins every single time you choose, in the middle of the chaos, to govern yourself first. If this is the work you are committed to, STOLVEX publishes every week. The fusion of Stoic inner mastery and Machiavellian outer strategy, built specifically for the man who is done being played. Subscribe and join the newsletter below. Every week, a deeper principle, a sharper move. Keep building.